Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Wednesday, March 6, 2024. Stand up for your country. We are reporting from West Palm Beach, Florida today. And it's raining. That's okay. It's better than snow. It's about 80 degrees, a little humid, but that's Florida. That's South Florida. And we're happy to be here. So Super Tuesday gone, vanished. We'll see you in 4 years. And it's Biden versus Trump. Everybody knew that was going to happen. But I still believe, and I could be desperately wrong here, that Joe Biden's not going to make it onto the ticket in November. Something is going to happen. Remember, 8 months. Politics, pretty long time. But the political landscape in America is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. 15 states voted, 1 U.S. territory yesterday. Donald Trump won 14 states. Joe Biden won all 15. However, Biden lost American Samoa. You know where that is? Come on, you know, South Pacific. So Trump won 14 states. He lost Vermont by 3,000 votes. And Vermont is, it's Bernie Sanders. Okay. So anyway, nothing really happened that was out of the ordinary. I was on News Nation last night when the polls closed at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And here's what I said. Go. As far as Vermont is concerned, you know, they're troublemakers up there. Everybody knows that. And they don't like him. And so they went with Nikki Haley, who they don't like either, but she's better than Trump. I think the story, though, going forward is Nikki Haley.
How so?
I think that she'll get out. She'll get out this week, maybe tomorrow. I know that because she has no media buys scheduled. And that's always the key. If the candidate has no media buys, that means they're done. She's done. But I think it was a noble effort by the ambassador's part. You know, to have no one run, or the Democratic side like Marianne Williamson, okay, but come on. But Haley was articulate. She stood her ground. She made some excellent points on abortion and other matters. And I respect the fact that she put herself out there. Okay, so my prediction about Nikki Haley, of course, came true this morning, where she said she is dropping out of the race. Go.
I have always been a conservative Republican and always supported the Republican nominee. But on this question, as she did on so many others, Margaret Thatcher provided some good advice when she said, quote, "Never just follow the crowd. Always make up your own mind." It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support him. And I hope he does that.
Okay, but she's going to endorse Trump probably pretty soon. Because if Nikki Haley doesn't endorse Trump, then she can't run a legitimate campaign because the RNC won't back her in 4 years, in 2028. She has to endorse Trump. And so she will, because she wants to be president. She wants to run again. And she'll try. So the turtle, Mitch McConnell, Senate minority leader, used to be majority leader, he endorsed Trump today. He doesn't like Trump. I mean, you know, they're not friendly at all. And, but he, you know, McConnell, you have to play the game at that level. So, as I've told you, I've reported, the reason that no Democrats ever in the Congress deviate away from leadership is because their money will get cut off. Republicans don't do that because they don't have a central authority like the Democratic Party is. But if you go against the nominee, Donald Trump, you can kiss your Republican career goodbye. All right? It's not going to happen. So Haley will endorse Trump. I don't know whether she'll campaign for him, but I wouldn't be surprised if a rapprochement took place, I wouldn't be surprised if you're out there. And that's a memo. All right, so media reaction. One of the reasons that cable TV news is declining so rapidly in audience is because it's so predictable. And we knew that was going to happen. All right, so everybody knew that Trump was going to win. And the fact that he lost in Vermont by 3,000 votes was a surprise, but it doesn't matter. All right, so MSNBC, let's run their soundbite first. Go.
Republican voters don't vote that way. They don't vote based on economics or based on the benefits they're getting economically from the president. They're increasingly, from the Tea Party on, they're voting on race. They're voting on this idea of an invasion of brown people over the border. The idea that they can't get whatever job they want. A black person got it, therefore drive all the blacks out of the colleges, get rid of DEI. That is what they're voting on.
Oh, what a bunch of bull. I mean, just to say, the Republican voters don't base on economics, don't vote on, I mean, it's just, and Republicans want to drive all the blacks out of colleges. So here, look, the woman has a right to say whatever she wants, but why is NBC paying for that? Why? That's just, it's so moronic. It doesn't matter what her ideology is. It doesn't matter that she sees everything in the prism of black and white. None of that matters. But to make a statement that Republicans want to drive all the blacks out of colleges, to say something like that, and then to pick up your check from NBC News, that could never have happened even 10 years ago. And that's how far standards have slipped. All right, let's go to CNN. Go.
83% of people who say they're very conservative are supporting Donald Trump. What is conservative about Donald Trump? Abandoning Ukraine to Putin? That's conservative? Isolationism? Where's the law and order conservatives when you got somebody with 91 felony counts? In other words, this guy has completely rewritten what it means to be a conservative.
Again, now Van Jones is not a moron. He isn't. He's a smart guy, but he's disingenuous. So to say that Donald Trump is an isolationist when he was in office for 4 years, okay, and he did an amazing amount of things overseas. So he renegotiated all of our economic treaties, all right, pulled us out of the global warming thing in Paris, moved the capital, U.S. Embassy, to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv, wiped out ISIS off the Middle East, okay, convinced the Taliban not to attack American forces for 18 months, had a relationship with Putin that prevented Putin from invading anywhere. Remember, Putin took Crimea under Obama, all right? North Korea didn't cause any trouble because Trump went over there and had whatever he had, and China, always a problem, wasn't that much of a problem. We didn't hear about an invasion of Taiwan when Trump was president. So to say that Trump is an isolationist, and that's what Van Jones just said, is so contrary to the truth, it's stunning. But again, this is what is on American television now. There are no standards of accuracy, fairness. They just blather and throw out this stuff. Can you imagine if I'm sitting next to Van Jones? Number one, he wouldn't have said that because he knew I would have carved him up. Okay? Number two, if he did say it, I would have just said exactly what I said to you. Are you kidding? Did you miss those 4 years that Trump was engaged overseas in almost every way? Trump's an isolationist. He's going to abandon Ukraine to Putin. Based on what? Donald Trump never said he was going to abandon Ukraine. He said he could end the war. Okay? I don't know whether he can end the war or not. That's what Trump said. He didn't say, I'm going to give Ukraine to Putin. So how do you know, Van? What are you doing? What are you basing that on? There is no basis, no factual basis of any of this analysis. Final. Back to MSNBC again. Go.
We want to do normal stuff. And they are talking, literally, Donald Trump is hosting Hungarian dictator Viktor Orban at Mar-a-Lago on Friday. And they're talking about building camps for millions of people. Right? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that they're talking about doing. Building camps for millions of people. Oh, and invading Mexico. Oh, and putting the U.S. Army with live ammunition in the streets of the United States to shoot American citizens.
I just don't know really what to say. So I'm not quite sure that Donald Trump has come out and said he's going to put the U.S. Army with live ammunition on the streets of the United States to shoot American citizens. Does anybody know when he said that? Anybody? Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. When did he say that? She just made it up. The camps are basically detention for people who violate borders. People who illegally enter countries are going to be detained. That's what she's talking about. Okay? So, no. This is what she wants you to believe. And the few people who watch MSNBC, and they are few, okay? She wants you to believe, oh, these are Nazis. Now, here's an interesting aside. The governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, big liberal, couldn't get more liberal, has announced today she's going to put the National Guard in the subway in New York City to protect people because Kathy Hochul can't, because she signed the no bail law. So she's the one putting the army on the streets or the subways of America, the liberal governor of New York, because things are so far out of control here in the city. I'm not in the city right now, but you know I live 20 miles outside. Debt. You go to bed and wake up thinking about it. Here's the truth. The system traps you in debt. High interest credit cards, loans make it nearly impossible to pay it all off. And insane inflation keeps you stuck paycheck to paycheck. Done with Debt is your lifeline. Done with Debt is a new strategy to help erase your debt faster and easier than you ever thought. Done with Debt analyzes all the debt options you qualify for. They know how to reduce bills, cut interest rates. Their skilled staff of negotiators know how to get debt out of your life without bankruptcy, without a loan. Done with Debt are the experts in brilliant strategies for eliminating debt. Here's how easy they make it. Go to donewithdebt.com. That's donewithdebt.com. Donewithdebt.com. Okay, let's get to the mail. We got Ken Barr in Coventry, Rhode Island. During Super Tuesday, I was flipping around and came across CBS. Just like Walter Cronkite. One commentator was completing his point, asking a rhetorical question of, do we want another Trump presidency? And anchorwoman Norah O'Donnell said, no. I thought journalists, especially the anchor for a news network, were supposed to remain neutral. That's gone. They were supposed to, but they don't. Now, I can't verify that Norah O'Donnell said that. I know Norah. She's a liberal woman, but I can't verify. But I trust you, Ken. That's why I'm doing it. But no, those days are gone. The anchors, they feign that they're independent, but they're not. Pat Shea, Chicago. You mentioned, O'Reilly, that you think Governor Huckabee Sanders would be a good choice for Trump's VP, but would it be a good choice for her? She's very young and should have a long political career ahead, but a Trump loss buries her national political career. No, it doesn't. No. If Governor Huckabee Sanders runs and Trump loses, she'll get the nomination in 28. They don't take it out on VPs. George is a concierge member. Thank you, George. George has an insurance policy for his life. George says, let's just quit NATO and tune out. What's worse that can happen? Call your legislators, tell them the United States should quit NATO. So, George, you're desperately wrong, even though I love you because you're a concierge member. The global economy is all tied in. Okay, so what happens in Europe, what happens in Asia affects how we live here in the United States. Can't be isolationists anymore. We pull out of NATO, guess who's coming across the border? That would be Putin. Okay, he'd love that. The terrorists would love that. It would just be a debacle. So, can't pull out of NATO, got to strengthen NATO. There are bad people all over the world. Bruce, the reason the GOP is not getting donations is because they don't deserve them. Republican caucus in the House barely votes as a bloc. They kept the incompetent GOP chairman in after the 2020 debacle. Okay? Victor, the left is totally insane and blinded by hatred. It's hard to, I know, hard. Michael Overhaas, Wellsville, Missouri. I watched the No Spin News religiously. Tell everyone that O'Reilly is the best source for truthful information. One of your news segments, you mentioned Mexico as a narco state, and you could not understand how parents could allow their kids to go down there on spring break. Well, I'll have an answer. Parents are not in control. I've been working in the juvenile industry for 2 decades. The amount of parentless kids in a country should scare people. When I say parentless, I mean they're there physically, but not emotionally for their kids. I believe that. I absolutely believe that more derelict parents exist today in the United States than have ever existed before. Selfish, selfish, selfish. Grant and Charlene Weed, Layton, Utah. We are 88 years old, 60 years of being married happily. We've listened to you, Bill, since you started at Fox News. We look forward to each No Spin News broadcast. We appreciate the way you present the news and the way you promote good behavior. You have a great history course by reading all of your killing books, and we are now into Killing the Witches. A sad time for the nation's history. Yeah, Killing the Witches, phenomenally successful book. I get the numbers now. And woo, I mean, we really sold a lot of copies. And if you haven't read it, you might check it out, BillO'Reilly.com. When you renew your premium and concierge membership, get a free book. Any free book. You can get Confronting the Presidents out September 10th. And if you want to pre-order it, we will not bill you until we ship it to you. All right? Word of the day, do not be sardonic. Wait, throw Confronting the Presidents up there. You're a little late with that. Okay, isn't that a good cover? St. Martin's Press did a nice job designing that cover. I usually design all the covers. That one, I picked some of it, but they did a nice job doing that. And then on the back, you have the presidents there. So word of the day, do not be sardonic, S-A-R-D-O-N-I-C. Final thought coming your way after these announcements. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Debt. You go to bed and wake up thinking about it. Here's the truth. The system traps you in debt. High interest credit cards, loans make it nearly impossible to pay it all off. And insane inflation keeps you stuck paycheck to paycheck. Done with Debt is your lifeline. Done with Debt is a new strategy to help erase your debt faster and easier than you ever thought. Done with Debt analyzes all the debt options you qualify for. They know how to reduce bills, cut interest rates. Their skilled staff of negotiators know how to get debt out of your life without bankruptcy, without a loan. Done with Debt are the experts in brilliant strategies for eliminating debt. Here's how easy they make it. Go to donewithdebt.com. That's donewithdebt.com. Donewithdebt.com. Okay, final thought, little braggadocio, if you don't mind. So I think for the past 6 months, I have been 100% accurate in my political predictions. And I don't know, that's not easy. Now, people, wherever I go, people know me. Well, what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen in November. 8 months, a long time. Anything, stuff's going to occur. Can't make a prediction now. But for Nikki Haley on, I told you down. So the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to spread the word about premium concierge membership on BillO'Reilly.com. The more members we get, the stronger we are. And we have hundreds of thousands of people, but we'd like to get millions of people. So if you think we're worthy, spread that word. Paul Revere. Now tomorrow, as I said, I'll be off. I'll be tweeting, around State of the Union time. Sunday, I'll write a column on the State of the Union. Friday, I'll have some tweets going out. So stay with us at Bill O'Reilly. That's our tweet address. Very easy, at Bill O'Reilly. They come in, and I don't bother you. It's like boom, 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 boom. Okay? All right. So Florida. This state is vibrant. And as you know, Hannity moved down here, and he's hawking me to come down. I can't right now because of family obligations in New York and businesses there. And I'm running 3 corporations now. I got 60 people working for me, 60. So I have a lot of responsibilities. But if you can take the heat, and I mean that literally, if you can handle the heat, Florida's a nice place to live. Especially if you like the ocean and the Gulf, and they're not bothering you down here. Okay, you got a lot more freedom here than you will have in California or New York or Illinois or Massachusetts, especially if you're a business person. They're not all over you, which is important. So we always like coming down here. As you know, I taught high school down in Florida for a couple of years, way back when in the Stone Age. And I didn't have a blackboard. I just put the lessons on the cave wall. That's how long ago it was. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you on Monday.